called the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show for Monday, February 17th. We're ready for a new week of sports betting action here. It's going to be a little light again today. It almost feels like a breather here in the middle of February with our All-Star break and our All-Star games. And our all-star action and controversies out of the weekend. We just saw the NBA all-star game last night. I'm a little behind in sending my links here. I don't know why things aren't working right here. Let me see if I can get these off, though. If not, we'll just keep continuing here with the NBA all-star festivities yesterday. Look, NBA fixture all-star game. I don't know what they were doing and what it was. I used to at least watch an all-star game that had like 356 points in it. Yesterday, there was basically about 216 points scored in the three games combined. That's about equivalent of a game between the Nets and the Hornets. So you got problems. You don't know how to fix them. You need to go international. That's the way the NHL just did it. Why can't you have a different format for the NBA All-Star game with United States versus the world or something like that? You got to try to fix this. I know it was a big love fest with Kenny and Shaq and Charles and Ernie. They're not going anywhere. It was just a little joke by Kevin Hart. They're going off of TNT, of course, but still the show will look the same production when it goes over to ESPN. But, they're all worthy. They've done a great job presenting that product for all these years. But, it was just a failure. I mean, the best thing about All-Star Weekend was probably the kid winning $100,000 of Mr. Beast's money. And I'm thinking, where's the rest of the money, Mr. Beast? If I got to go through like Beast games or something, I better get $1 million. I bet Mr. Beast was thinking the same thing after the kid hit the shot to beat Damian Lillard in the only contest that mattered at All-Star Weekend. It felt like who won again? Yeah, it was the Shaq OGs. Why not? The veterans with the win at the NBA All-Star Weekend, and Steph with the MVP. I even mentioned it on another stream. They were quizzing me a little bit on what I thought of Super Bowl All-Star Weekend. And I said, probably get Steph the MVP. It's in San Francisco. I don't know what team he was on, but hopefully you guys cashed some bets in that. I wanted to get involved publicly with some plays, but it almost felt embarrassing. I want to insult anybody sending out some plays with the NBA All-Star game. On the contrary, we're ready to continue in just hours from now. Four nations face off with big games today. Canada and Finland, the early game, bumping USA Sweden to the night game here. Maybe that is deserving, but it does feel a little bit awkward. Canada's done such a nice job, and maybe it's not supposed to be the best game, but watch out. See what happens with Canada and Finland this afternoon, followed by USA and Sweden tonight. Will Matthew Tkachuk play in the game with that groin injury? He didn't look good on the bench. You heard Spenny talking about it on the show on Saturday. It didn't look like he was feeling very comfortable there, but still over the weekend, great game. USA over Canada. I know it was Saturday, but we're Monday here. So Gensel with the 2 goals, Hellebuck with the saves. Yeah, USA in control maybe right now at the Four Nations face-off, but Canada waiting for their shot. Got to beat Finland first. I'll have a pick in just a little bit. So Genesis Open, Ludwigsburg feels like the best player not to win already. Maybe one of the hottest players around. Ludwigsburg wins at the Genesis with those birdies there on the back 9 to look real strong to beat McNeely. Scheffler scuffled earlier in the week and put up a bunch of birdies there as well. Late night at Daytona, William Byron back to back. Talk about superstars right now. William Byron with the win at Daytona last night. Basically just outlasting anybody who didn't crash. It's not great racing. I tried to come in with some underdogs because it almost looks like it doesn't matter, but there is a little bit of tactics to driver and team Byron. No fluke or well deserved for this man on his career journey here. Feels like a superstar already. William Byron, Daytona winner 2 years running. Jimmy Johnson, talk about legends. Jimmy Johnson, my guy, everybody's guy, maybe, with a third place finish. So kind of crazy there. All right, let me say hello to everyone in the chat. We get ready for our big day here on Monday, highlighted by these hockey games for sure. There's some basketball today. It's not very spectacular, but we're gonna have at it here after yesterday. I had good college baseball winners with the premium plays, but did not come through in basketball. Although we did do some damage here. Let's take a look and see who's in, who's out today from the chat. All Stars, Daddy Beats is here today. Thank you, Daddy. Hey, D Money, hi. Hello, brother. Uncle D Money. It looks like they're awesome. Good to see Daniel here today. Joe W. Thank you for being here, everyone. Good morning. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. We had some great programming this weekend with our UFC coverage. I can't wait to see what the guys have in store today. Super Porky's here. Did it hit? Let me check. Super Porky, let's go over some of the results yesterday from the action here and take a look at our plays a little bit from yesterday. We did have some winners on the show as well. Consensus winners included Wichita State there yesterday. Ohio State was our loser, unfortunately, with the consensus plays. So Super Porky not going to have a winner here yesterday. But let's see who else is here. Blue, Doubles is here today. Bobby Mack is here. And who else? VB. Oh my God, VB is here. Nice to have you. He's ready to roll. He's asking about some action today, and we do have Monday night fixtures. Certainly, that'll capture VB's attention. Soccer's his second favorite sport. Action today in Italy with Venezia and Genoa, and in Spain, Vallecano and Barcelona features today in soccer. In Europe, also one game in the championship, couple other leagues in action as well. Bobby Mack scores in Uganda this morning. Talk about sickos, Super Trues here as well. 1K protection firm as well. Terrell going over some winners yesterday. Flanae Jones here today and Jerry Davis. All right, guys. Yeah, we did have some winners, but didn't feel great in college basketball yesterday with the premiums necessarily, but we did have some winners here on the show. Premium winner included Siena and Sacred Heart. Game 2 go over. Mentioned the consensus winner with Wichita State yesterday as well. Consensus winner, Team Steam, Bradley, in that game against Drake, right? We're Drake, yeah, they get pumped up, having a great season. But last night, no doubt, a little bit of a stunner there as far as Bradley over Drake, 61-59 to snap Drake's winning streak. But you guys had him, Team Steam. Great pick yesterday by the chat with Bradley. Wow, great job yesterday by Team Steam. Also, a premium pick winner we had Wisconsin Milwaukee over Northern Kentucky, but it seemed few and far between. Winner here on the show included Rutgers and Oregon game to go under. We also had Youngstown State. We called it, Thomas. I had Youngstown over Cleveland State yesterday. Maybe it wasn't as totally unpopular as I made it out to be. There was a lot of support out there for Youngstown. Also, winner here on the show, we had Louisville to blow out Notre Dame. Yeah, we thought over, but it was more about Louisville and the way they're playing right now. Don't sleep on Louisville. Tennis action. There is some tennis going on right now. I've been checking it out. I saw a complete meltdown from Kalinina against Vika here just about an hour or so ago. If anybody, I'm sure Robert watched that one. That was almost. I don't know if you could lose any more. If I'm never a conspiracy, a gambling, but God, you couldn't lose any more pitifully if you tried to throw a tennis match. Like Kalinina melted down there against Vika, 2-6, 7-6, 6-4 for Vika. But you couldn't. I mean, it just felt like you couldn't win a point if you tried. Jerry Davis, hello. I think I said hello. And action there last. Yeah, great. Hey, you know what? I mean, I know we're trying to get the race in, and we had to start. We basically sat there at the racetrack for 8 hours waiting to try to get that race in, and it seems like it happens every year right now. But they almost saved the day there with a little bit of action because the All-Star game, I just cannot conclude enough how awful an event it was. It was miserable and painful to watch. The NBA All-Star festivities. Saturday night was even better, and that's with another boring Mac McClung dunk win. And the only thing I liked also about All-Star Weekend, other than the kid nailing the shot for $100,000, was probably Evan Mobley in that skills competition. I thought that was pretty good. All right, we'll get ready and start the show. We don't have enough games, so I'm just trying to talk about whatever I can with you guys here. We'll get to the previews here in just a moment. But you can get my best plays today over at winnable.com. I have my top plays for college basketball. I do like this card. This is where we're going to get at it. This Monday, these are supposed to be my best conferences here on Monday nights, and I've got my best plays coming your way. I'm thinking I'll have we'll see if it's premium or I'm going to have some picks right now on the Four Nations face-off. We got to have picks on the Four Nations face-off. We're just hours away, 3.5 hours away from Finland, Canada, and USA, Sweden tonight. But I'll have picks also in college baseball where we just went 3-0 yesterday, that's for sure. And I'll take it where I can get it here. I moved him to the premium because college baseball is often one of my best plays. But you got some great teams out there, and you saw some great results from the weekend. There's a few more games today. And we'll have maybe we'll have some picks today in college baseball. But check me out. Click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you over to my winnable page. This is how you support me here on the channel, by getting my content over at winnable.com. There's free content over there as well as paid content. So check it out over at winnable.com/Ramon. There's that address there. Whoop. Bring it back to my main page here. Use the promo code STEAM. Want to thank everybody really for subscribing. It keeps me coming back here every day talking sports and sports betting with you. And man, I'm really bummed about not getting my links out there. How am I going to go viral if we don't send out the social media links? But too late now. I got to start the show with you guys and preview our sports for today. Let a few more people roll in. Got 50 of you here on Monday. Thanks, everybody. Action Jackson is here today talking about some legends here. Nuke says Canada will smash in this one. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get started with the show. And Terrell, yeah, was a little bit overload on Kevin Hart. But, got to have a little bit of entertainment there. Smash it, like it. Let's start the show. All right. Appreciate Cash Kane. All right, Finland and Canada today to get us started here at the Four Nations. Today, look, it's just as important for Finland now as it is for Canada. Should be a big discrepancy here, but I don't know. The professional move seems to be in, whether you not want to support it or not. And I can go with my Canadian friends here, like Nuke and the gang, and figure this is a spot where Canada's going to be ready after the loss to the United States. But Finland came back and, they look good. And the win over Sweden with Granlund getting that overtime game winner. So, there's still a fight in the Finns here. Remember, I took Finland as a flyer at a bad price at 7-1 to win the Four Nations, just because I really think that it's still an all-star type of feel. Now, there's no doubt that the intensity and Saturday night's game to me was the sporting event of the year. And you guys called me out and said, well, what about the Super Bowl? And I would still contest that Saturday night's game was better than the Super Bowl for sure. And, we're going to get it again, no doubt. Canada's got to prevail in this one, but the price has almost gone back to a little bit tolerable here for Canada, but you have to respect the move on Finland here a little bit, as Canada reached about a 420 favorite or so here. Maybe it's bounced back down a little bit. The sharp books are down to 400 or so. And yeah, if it's always going to be goaltending for Canada, you soon got to look to ways to help that situation. And, it's not all negative for Finland defensively here. This is still a pretty high total, man. I mean, come on. If this game is supposed to have the intensity of a Olympic style, world championship style, and these games are getting more intense. Like I said, there's no doubt the NHL has finally figured out the all-star break right. A lot of players get some rest. It does seem a little bit unfair. These are now such hotly contested games, putting maximum pressure on these players, including Matthew Tkachuk from the United States. But nonetheless, uh, maybe the odds are appropriate. I don't feel comfortable with it at all. I think Canada has its work cut out for them to cover this price here today. Whether or not you wanted to take 2.5 goals, I want to have a piece of Finland here. It feels like, fam. Canada better win this game. They better smash them. But I think the pressure's on, and Finland did get the job done. Now, maybe I've been wrong when I'm supposed to be right on Finland, and I've been right when I'm supposed to be wrong. It feels like right now, but there is plus money on Finland at plus 1.5. So if you like the 2.5, maybe I could take a little bit of 2.5 there. It's still minus 150 or so. But I think the pressure's, really on Canada here. And maybe it's not on Finland necessarily. And the game means it feels like just as much for Finland here. And again, this isn't the best that Finland has to offer with the way the lineup, the way the lineups, the ins and outs shook down. Still, Finland very highly ranked last year, of course, in the double IHF rankings. Now, we know why, but all right, but still, to be Finland underrated for where they stand in the official rankings. Not that maybe the official rankings are never correct from the IIHF, but I do respect them a little bit. All right, Canada better not lose. Philly Eagle Flyer here says both games over 5.5 at plus money. I mean, oh man, you talk about why Philly Eagle Flyer. I get it. A 6.5, right? When you're talking about the general line, look, 6/20 might be that's the sharpest line it feels like out there. That's what Circa's running out there, and to me, that does not sound like a game that is going to be intense like it's supposed to be here, right? Like it was in the game between USA and Canada. That's all I was contesting, and all that got shot down because it is a very intense series. And a great job by Montreal in hosting. All right, Action Jackson says take the All American parlay with Canada and the U.S. It's great that a team can be represented, a whole state representing a whole team out here. All right. Nuke says, don't do it, Ramon. I got to do it, Nuke. Come on. $4.20, whatever it is. Um, Canada, I guess, is supposed to be this much better right now. But I would think consider the pressure will be on, and I believe it will be reflective more of a score that feels you know if we're taking this seriously like we're supposed to be, why would there ever be 6.5 or 6 goals in this game? The final should be 3-1 or 3-2. I would think here, but maybe Finland is that bad in the end. All right. Got our first steam popping in. I'm just interrupt for some basketball coverage. We'll preview the card in just a moment. But right now, Virginia is taking the steam here against Duke. We only got a few games, so it was my plus 15 in some spots, down to 14, which might have been the original line anyways. Pretty easy to keep track of today's lines, but steam just came in on Virginia. Duke said, don't do it. He's trying to talk me out of it. I can't do it. The price is too high. And I'll consider Finland. I think Canada has their sights set on their future opponents, if you know what I mean. And they can overlook here. Careful with Finland. They obviously, Finland already getting blown out once, but able to come back and get that win over Sweden when Sweden was supposed to be at least third ranked in this tournament, and now the pressure's totally on Sweden tonight. We'll preview that one. And Andrew G says, can Virginia catch Duke tonight on a little fantastic, little Monday night ACC ball? The games are good in the 3 games. All right. All right, not much from you guys as far as picks are concerned. So I'll do, other than I should trust Nuke and the gang here, and I guess if it was probably right now 4:35 at Bet Online, and doesn't seem like great matchmaking here. All right, the late game tonight somehow earning the primetime billing here. Whoops, with USA, yeah. Minus $2 or so against Sweden. Talk about another price that's kind of gone up here a little bit. Almost feels like a little bit too high. Again, a little bit, right? With USA and Sweden here in this one. And yeah, for sure. I mean, USA also can say they've set their sights on a future matchup. Could they possibly be overlooking the Swedes here tonight, laying minus $2 and 6 under 20 here? Feels like the general line everywhere at this point. Maybe you can get a little discount at some of the online books coming into this one. So Sweden, obviously, talk about backs to the wall or whatever their position is right now. Certainly desperate here to fight, and this would be the spot, I would guess, to try to take a little action on Sweden at this point. But again, just to me, it feels like these totals are a little too high if we're supposed to be taking this seriously here at the Four Nations event. Maybe these are supposed to be the ones that are uh, higher scoring when you're talking about the crisscross between the teams and the round robin event here. In fact, this one now, both games, as mentioned, you guys mentioned it, basically the same total, but not the same matchup, especially with one, with Canada $4 basically, and the U.S. at $2. Not that that should matter, but Sweden at plus 1.5 is minus $1.55 on that puck line here right now. So, all right, see if you guys have any picks here with the game tonight, Sweden and the United States. And it looks like it was going to be real popular. The North American parlay there, apparently. Nuke going to lay it there, lay the puck line there with Canada. All right. And let's see. Nuke says tonight, be careful with the United States. Could they be overlooking Sweden here? And Jared says no value there on Canada. All right, Jared. Those the guys are ready to go in college basketball already. I'm trying to, give the Four Nations face off its just due. I think it is again worthy of top billing here this weekend, even over the NBA All Star game. Felt to me like an afterthought last night after watching the Four Nations Cup, and I think I'm looking forward to today's action as well. Can't wait for this first game to start. So, all right, USA and Sweden, no takers. It feels like right now. So, I'll take Sweden. You got there's Nuke. He says, what do they really have to play for? Do the United States tonight, especially if you got a little bit injured here and have to make sure you're at your peak at least in the games to come. So I've got to take Sweden here plus 1.5 at minus 155 as my play. So, all right. I know you guys know it's big, maybe just no picks on it. You guys are ready to go with basketball. Appreciate the attempt there in the chat. And maybe I'm on an island here. Maybe nobody likes this event. All right, I'll go to basketball then. And it doesn't get much better, I don't think. Although, we do want to focus in on these conferences and their races when we get a chance here, as some of these conferences heat up here. And we'll open it up with the first game on the college basketball card just because there is a daytime start. And there's also one note with the college basketball. We're going to preview that game between Northern Iowa versus Murray State. Now, the game has been moved to Nashville, Tennessee at Belmont's Arena. Murray State has had a power outage all weekend long. That game never had a chance to go off. It seemed like yesterday after they tried to delay it 2 hours, but the power outage has been a much greater situation there, affecting the entire campus apparently. So they've moved the game to tonight at 6 p.m. local time, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. The game will be played at Belmont between Northern Iowa and Murray. Now, we did have Murray there on the show yesterday, so I think we're going to be kind of held to that a little bit. Although there is a venue change, the video was out there. We talked about the game there yesterday on the show that never materialized. So I'll try a total here when we get to it. See what D Money likes over in both the hockey games. Thank you, Daniel. I thank you. I need some kind of picks here from the crew in that game. So I know where I'm going with the total, but I think I need, I might need a premium maybe for the night game tonight. I will tell you this, that there's a pretty big move going on in the night game right now. Take a look at it. little bit frustrated by that. Now all of a sudden, I didn't know it was going to come at this time, but there is a serious move right now. Let me go back to it here. Actually, this is almost breaking news. Don't want to give away. Maybe I will. Uh, I'll just update it right now. The total is on the move lower right this moment. The steam is coming in for sure on the night game here between the United States and Sweden. You can see it in all your books right now. And thought I was being sneaky, but there is some serious steam coming in right now on the under in the game between the United States and Canada. I already teased it there a little bit, saying, look, if we're taking these games as seriously as these players are portraying it, then these totals are too high. And that should be tonight. Intensity should be there for this one with the United States and Sweden tonight. And that total moving lower right now, no doubt about it. If that is almost breaking news, this move is so significant. So that almost saved the day with our coverage right there. And all right, let's see what else you got here. Thomas says Prairie View under. Jared says looking forward to that next game. Nuke says don't worry, and I guess Nuke, I'm just such a straightaway player on the numbers. Sometimes I almost don't let it affect me there, and I'll take full responsibility. Curtis is here, Flea is here. Jerry says he's on Alcorn here in the matchup with Florida A&M. I don't know if I have that one in the previews though, so that might be the coverage right there. Action Jackson talk. And look, looking back at the incident with the fights, right? Look, I know I'm going to call it out. Maybe Nuke is going to have a little bit of a problem with this. Yes, it was somewhat premeditated, somewhat scripted a little bit, right? But we wouldn't have complained if they wanted to do it 2 or 3 more times. Quite frankly, right? The pressures of the national anthem. Hey, I thought it was a smart idea to have the same. I know that man's a popular anthem singer, but not having representation. He sang both songs. That did kind of temper the situation. But they're always going to boo it right now. You do have a little bit of a political backdrop here at this point. But hey, no doubt they were thinking what everybody else was thinking. It was not a surprise, right? Especially the angle when they were showing the face off that there was going to be a fight within the first. Maybe he was thinking, 30 seconds or something. All right. You guys are starting to get into the basketball, so I will as well. See all your plays in here already. Chill Will, Canada team total over. Might not be done yet. Timmy Two Shoe here today. Yep, there's no doubt. I'm on Sweden. Maybe I should have switched now because, that info coming in. And maybe, in games when you're not supposed to, when you have a team overlooking or not totally focused, maybe those are over games, but I don't feel like it is tonight. All right, let me go to basketball here. I don't want to keep you too long here on a day we can get another 1-hour show like yesterday, it felt like, right? All right, top of the board here with Maryland Eastern Shore going up against Howard. It just probably wouldn't have made the cut if it wasn't the first game. I'm not going to go over every game today on our extra board here, but since it is the top of the board here with Maryland Eastern Shore taking on Howard, I thought we could definitely take a look at this one. It goes off at 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific time here with Howard, a pretty big favorite at this point, and they should be much better than Eastern Shore here. Eastern Shore just 4-20 straight up, so you know what I mean. This probably weren't going to be taking this game here if we didn't have to, or like I said, I want to open the card up here, early action basketball games going on, so we can watch this one a little bit. Try to make sure that some of these games are on YouTube today, even tonight. So, all right, the Bison here. I mean, they're come on, they're the much better team, even if they're not great shooting team here. It feels like so. Uh, this one's actually on ESPN Plus. Howard is certainly a team that could roll here should they choose to do so. Eastern Shore, like I said, 4-20 straight up. Howard's not great, 10-15 straight up. They have won two of their last three games coming in. They were favored and they covered against Eastern Shore just a couple of days, a week ago, Monday, last Monday. These two teams played at Eastern Shore, and it was 77-57 in favor of Howard, winning on the road as a 7-point favorite. So that game went for 134 points here, but this one they're expected to go higher with Howard on the road. But will that really be the case? That was the only game that Howard's really covered over the last few games. They lost to South Carolina State. They failed to cover against Central, and they lost to Delaware by 11 points as a 1.5 point dog. Howard's been a crummy cover, actually, but it's just that Eastern Shore is so bad. Howard is 7-13 against the spread. Eastern Shore is 7-12 against the spread. If anything, Eastern Shore has been okay as an underdog. It just seems like uh, the discrepancy feels like more. Look, if Howard just won by 20 points on the road, now they're turning around and at home. Why wouldn't they win by 20 again? Yeah, tough to say. All right. Anyways, Howard owns this series too, so I'm probably going too long on this one. I'm going to take the total and go under. I mean, they just had 100 whatever 134 and this is 151. I know Howard, I guess if it goes over they'll probably cover anyways. All right, and let's go to see sports money is money. Jerry says take the points. Flanay's on Howard. Cash Gains on Howard. Dirty Reg. He liked Daytona last night. I look. I love it too. It's really the one race that captive, but it just doesn't feel like it's a, you know, a, I don't want to say fair race or whatever. Basically, was the only, Byron was the only he won because he didn't crash. I guess it felt like. Bethune Cookman's taking some steam right now. I think we got this one previewed in the matchup coming up with Jackson State. Bethune Cookman was a 1-point favorite. They're back up to 2. I don't know how much steam it is. Maybe it was a head fake there, but the steam on Bethune Cookman. We'll preview it here in just a moment. And Howard, well, yeah. I guess the Howard is pretty bad. I mean, they are 6-3 as a favorite, though, at least. Ricky Huncho says take Eastern Shore here on the money line. Trust me. I think Ricky's been here a few times, so maybe we could trust him. Howard money line and under for Thomas and Howard, yeah, up and down. Kind of like my bankroll on some of these. On my favorite Monday schools, my favorite Monday conferences here. Trust Ricky Gravy. Hello, Redbeard under. I'm going under, I guess, as well. And Jimmy Choo said, right? I'm gonna go with the under. I'm gonna go with the under. Blues on the under. I'm on the under. Everybody's on the under. All right. And James Barham, good morning. Yeah, I guess I'll go on the look. Howard goes over. I get it. Howard goes over. Eastern Shore goes under. Last 10 games, Howard 9-1 to the over. Last 10 games, Eastern Shore 1-9 to the under. But if it's 151 and they just went for 134, yeah, I know Howard's supposed to win this game. I guess hey, I could do the math. I think I can do the math, right? What is it supposed to be? 83 to 68. 83 to 68. 83 to 68. Is Howard really going to score 83 points in this game? All right. I guess look, if it goes over, Howard's covering, right? All right. Howard number one. Howard under. Under's a consensus play. All right. I guess I was right, or I didn't take patented Ramon under to the you know we're gambling today. Okay, I get it. Here we go. Can't Let's just move on. Come on. Okay, Bethune Cookman just talked about it. They're taking steam here right now, officially, unofficial. Bethune Cookman's up to 2 point favor, back up to two, right? Again, here at Bovada right now, uh, coming in. Cookman here, if anything, let me get the numbers up here. Jackson State comes in 8-17. They've actually won two of their last three games coming in against Pine Bluff and Mississippi Valley. Cookman was hot before they lost to Alcorn as a 6.5 point favorite last time out, 74-58 here. These teams played 86-81 in that last meeting. They went way over 140. This one, 144 and a half here. Look at this, right? You take a look at the total here in this in this matchup. It does feel like wow. The Jackson State's been going over a whole bunch here of late. 8-2 to the over in their last 10. And they are 7-9 to the under as a dog there. And Cookman also goes under, has a favorite, I guess. But ever since Ruppin's been in there, I mean, and it seems like Jackson State's got a little bit of something going here a little bit. All right. Taking a look right now. I mean, look, it's been night and day for Jackson. I mean, right? Ever since starting the season 0-13, no doubt about it. Now they just scored. Look at what Jackson's been doing here a little bit. They scored 94 against Pine Bluff, 92 against Mississippi Valley, 89 and a loss to Southern here. And, they've had some other decent run here after opening the conference season 4-0. But currently, right now, Jackson State, of course, trails Southern. Southern's going to win the conference. We know that. But they do have the second and third place teams here right now going at it in this one. And Cookman, they've got decent score as well with Thomas, but because of the injury to Freeman, I mean Thomas has been one of the best players in the conference, if not the best. All right. Anyways, so far you got Cookman coming in here. 5-1 straight up at home. It's basically a toss up here. And Jackson State 1-15 as an underdog straight up this season. They're definitely an underdog here now, and those are tough because when you're on your money making tour, they lost all those games early on, anyways. I mean, that's why they're 3-15 straight up on the road, but still. They paid the price and now they're getting rewarded here with an 8-4 regular season right now. So it's been okay for Jackson State. Got to put these in perspective, right? All right, here we go with some action here. It looks like is Jerry going over. Justin likes Cookman. I like Cookman. Cookman's my play. How am I not going to be on Cookman here? It feels like they've won 9 of not what I say 5 of 6 home games. I think it's even more than that. Maryland, Eastern Shore, and Howard. Bethune on the money line here. Jermaine's here. I mean, this is why we're here for you, Jermaine. These are the conferences, the small conferences we love. All right, Cookman money line last night. You guys are on Cookman. I'm on Cookman. I probably should be on. I'm going to have a pick on this game. Cookman money line. Here's a consensus play. Here we are, 2 games in, 2 consensus plays. More Cookman. Jermaine says you got to still look at. I don't know. I don't know. He's talking about this game right there. All right, here we go. Everybody, Cookman. Let's move on. McNeese on the road against Southeast Louisiana. So here now, all of a sudden, now we're talking about, the best team supposedly of all these teams here. It feels like at this point, McNeese 20-6 right now, but this is about the toughest it's going to get. Southeast, this is the game of the night, really. With all due respect to Arizona and Baylor, this feels like the game of the night for the most part. You got Southeast Louisiana on this massive winning streak here right now coming in, and they're covering numbers against Nichols, Houston, Christian, and Word. 3 straight covers. Also beat Lamar in a push. Didn't get the money against New Orleans as a big favorite, but Southeast Louisiana has been a terrific spread team, 10-5 against the spread as a dog, 7-2-1 against the spread last 10, 15-7-2 against the spread overall. Meanwhile, McNeese has always been overvalued this year with their popular players and popular, perception in expecting once we got to conference play and all that, if not before. And now they're an 8-point favorite, 7.5 here right now, total 136. Team's first meeting was won by McNeese, 79-51, as they covered 13. So maybe they have enough here still, it feels like, against Southeast Louisiana. I don't know. That game went for 130 points at that time. And these 2 teams are mostly unders, it feels like, but the series history is pretty much an over when these 2 teams meet. And yeah, Southeast Louisiana can be competitive here, it does feel like. And McNeese, all the matchups the last 6 years, I think, have been well over this total. Let's see, was last year 77-74 here. The year before that, 78-75. I mean, why wouldn't this game be played in the mid 70s by both teams here? That's what I would ask. I don't know if I would want to lay it here with McNeese against Southeast Louisiana. I want to give Southeast Louisiana a chance here, even if they got blown out, on the road the first time. Well, we know McNeese is supposed to be the best of these conferences, but all right, here we go with. I think that's Southeast. Run Southeast. Yeah. Jermaine says Southeast. Cash Kane, McNeese. Blue says McNeese put him in the money line parlay. And Thomas says I got to take these points with Southeast. Play. And Jerry says McNeese probably can get the money here. They got the money the first time. There is steam coming in right now on our first game. Maybe it was us. Team Steam consensus. Maryland Eastern Shore and Howard, the steam's coming in right now on the under. I went under, you went under, consensus play was under, and here comes the steam right now in that game. Look at it. It was 150.5. It's all the way down to 149 here at some spots right now in that Maryland Eastern Shore and Howard game. Maybe they were watching us and heard all of our comments on that game as to why it will be an under with Maryland Eastern Shore and Howard. How interesting is that? All right. Irish King's got his hockey in there a little bit. Jerry says Prairie View in that other game. Redbeard's got his parlay. Perky, good morning. Hello. Great to see you. That's what it is. Good point, Perky. I don't think it's all about me, right? I mean, no way are we getting what do we got 90 people in here just to see me. I think it's that's why everybody's comment goes on the screen. We're just trying to give you the pulse of what people are thinking. Good people, good handicappers. Terrell, like I'm on the over. Over's my play. Over's my play in this one. All right. Like it, subscribe. Justin likes Southeast Louisiana as well. I mean, I'm probably going to make my card with Southeast, I'll tell you. Get my picks, subscribe to my picks. I'll have a better day than yesterday. Picks on the basketball wasn't great. Good thing I got college baseball right now, man. Um, All right. Perky likes it over there with me. I like it over. That's my play. I'm going over with McNeese and Southeast Louisiana. I didn't even get to conclude that, these are under teams for sure. McNeese 4-8 to the under on the road. Meanwhile, Southeast Louisiana 5-11 to the under as a dog. But Southeast Louisiana 5-2 to the over at home. And I think that's why here and the series history, don't forget, um, actually, I don't think the last two meetings here between these two teams did go over. Here's some steam right now. I don't think we have this one in the previews, but Houston Christian and Corpus Christi. Steam to the under. Right now it was 143, but immediately down to 141 and a half. It may have been already as low as 142. More steam right behind it here right now. Texas Southern and Southern. Last game of the night here on the extra board. Steam to the under right now. It was 142 and a half, and we're going to go down to 141, it looks like, with Texas Southern and Southern. All right. Let's see what else we got. Jerry says he's going over in that Howard game. He's going against the steam. He's going against the chat there in that one. And Jared liking Coppin today against South Carolina State. Thank you to Jared. I don't think we have that one in the previews today. And Terrell said, talk about that game last night with Rutgers and Oregon. And we had that under there last night. I don't think it was a terribly unpopular play for sure, but that's what we gave out on the show. Wish I would have. That was a good pick. Okay. I've got a couple more here and the show will be over. But okay, so we've already talked about this one. Northern Iowa and Murray State, they're going to play this one at Belmont. It's good to go now. We've moved the site. We went to Tennessee to play this one tonight. Now, I'm already on Murray yesterday on the show. I'm not going to change it at this point. I feel like the venue change maybe is going to even this one up a little bit closer now. I think it is a pick 'em here. Maybe the books haven't reissued the line yet. Waiting on, I don't know what we're waiting on. Again, in fact, maybe Murray is 1.5 and 135 here at a few books starting to open it. I'm not sure if you guys have seen anything. Let me know. This not breaking news. I mean, they kind of whipped this one together pretty quick here. But tell you what, I am going to do. I'm going to be on the over here in this game. So that'll be my additional pick. I'm already on Murray. I just feel a little bit. Remember, it was kind of an important game here. Northern Iowa comes in 17-9. right now, and Murray 13-13, winners of two straight. Northern Iowa's won four straight, so it was a kind of a good game coming in. And if anything, it gives us a pretty good game here today. It's on ESPN Plus from the Curb Event Center for all you Nashville uh, folk that want to. It's free to get in. I know that, but I don't think they'll have any concessions. I think they said just the bathrooms will be open. We've been to a few games like that, huh? So I'm going to add the over here just because hey, I want to update you on this game, and I'm still on Murray. I'm going with Murray. Don't want to go against the pick we made yesterday on the show, if that makes any sense. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Jermaine's watching tennis here with me a little bit. Okay, Northern Iowa and over for Jerry here. See, he's gone with Northern Iowa here. Mike Clark, good morning. Great to have you here. He likes the over there. Murray still at 1.5 is available. Okay. Murray for Terrell. And Super True says, I'm still on UNI. I think he was here yesterday saying he was on UNI, right? And good President's Day. Remember, well, this will be the day after the Super Bowl next year. All right. All right. You guys are talking about the weather. Next up, Lehigh and Bucknell. Well, all right. Here we go with Lehigh and Bucknell. You got Bucknell here favored by 5.5, maybe 6, maybe 6.5. Do I hear 7? We'll call it 6.5. It does seem to be a pretty big move here on Bucknell, and that's where I'm going with my pick. So total here at 139 in this one with Bucknell 13-14 right now. Lehigh 10-15 currently. Bucknell's playing pretty well. They've won 2 straight. And had a few other winners in there as well. They did lose to Army in that crazy game, 116-110, but bounced back for covers against BU and Lafayette. Meanwhile, for Lehigh, they've been getting some covers as well of late as favorites and as of dogs. If anything, you got Lehigh coming in here 8-5 against the spread as an underdog, but still Bucknell can be pretty good. Last matchup was just about a month and a half ago. It was 66-64. Lehigh won again. They were 3-point favorites and they did not cover in that game. Getting some steam on one of our big games tonight, so I've got to throw it in here because it is my play actually. Steam is coming in on the over in the Arizona Baylor game tonight. It was 151. It's up immediately here right now, and I like the over in this game tonight. It's up to 153 here now at some books. Arizona and Baylor's taking the steam. That was going to be my play, so let me mention it now. Arizona and Baylor. We got it ready to preview here in about 4 games, but steam's coming in right now on the over here. Public heavy on the over in this game. 19 out of every 20 tickets, it looks like, coming in on the over so far. So I'm on the over in that one. Okay, Lehigh and Bucknell, however, I'm going to take Bucknell here, lay the extra point now, -6.5. I've got them to beat Lehigh here in this one and get the money. Bucknell money line and under for Perk. Cash Canes on Bucknell money line. Jerry says got to grab Lehigh. It has gone too high now, and he can get 7. All right. Robert's on Bucknell though with me. And we'll get there, Jerry, with that preview for Arizona and Baylor in just a moment. I'm going to take Bucknell here, 139. I mean, really? First game went for 130 points. I get that, but still, Lehigh is a pretty big under team here. 4-9 to the under as a dog. A road dog, actually. Lehigh 8-15 overall, the under. Bucknell's gone over in 9 of their last 10. So uh, one team goes over, one team goes under. But I would think tonight, if Bucknell is going to win and crush, would that be I think that's a lower scoring game, right? Either way, it might be a lower scoring game. All right, we'll keep it moving here right now with Lamar taking on Northwestern State. In this one, you have Northwestern State favored by 1 or 1.5. Total 131.5, 132. It does feel like it's going up here right now, but I'm not so sure that I'm feeling that necessarily with these two. Prairie View's getting steamed right now in that matchup against Grambling. Right now, we're seeing Prairie View here. They were getting 7.5, but now all of a sudden, Prairie View in the matchup against Grambling taking that steam here. It is currently down to 6. Wow, Prairie View taking the steam here against Grambling. Really? All right. Look, I say it with a little bit of disbelief, but the inconsistency in these conferences are also showing in my record a little bit. Since they get featured, maybe it has been a little bit of a negative effect. It's usually strong. All right. See what else we got here. Thomas is on Lamar. I haven't even got to the game yet. Jared's on Lamar as well. Lamar comes in 16-10, and Northwestern State 11-14. And Jerry says Lamar here a little bit. Lamar on this 3-game winning streak right now, covering against East Texas A&M last time out. Also beat Corpus Christi and beat Rio Grande Valley, although they did not cover. Northwestern State's off a loss at home to SFA here, and Northwestern State just 3-6 against the spread as a home favorite. Meanwhile, Lamar 9-3-1 against the spread on the road. And maybe that is going to point people in the direction of Lamar. I got to go under because these two teams go under. Now, there is an argument to be made that Northwestern State, that maybe the total is a little bit too low considering that Northwestern State's been a massive under team this year, and it's kind of reflected in the line down here at 131. But Northwestern State's 1-8-1 to the under in their last 10 games overall, 2-6-1 to the under as a favorite, and Lamar's 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games. So maybe that's why the total, of course, that's why the total is probably this low, but I've got to go under here. Lamar does go over 8-6 as an underdog. Jerry says it's probably too low. Perky says this is a low total. Yeah, maybe that's why it's my free play. I really feel like this is a mid 120s, maybe 128-ish. I'm still going to go under here. If Lamar gets this win, it better be under here, right? So I'm if I say it like that, I mean this is probably a premium for me and on the side, but you probably can figure the way I'm going if it's going low. But again, it seems like I keep flubbing up the MEAC and SWAC here the last week and a half. More steam coming in here right now. Nick, I don't have a preview for this one, but Justin was on Northwestern State there. Thank you, Justin. With Nichols and New Orleans steam right now to the under. Take that, well, I don't say it like you guys laugh at me with all my unders, but this one was 149, and now look where it's at with Nichols and New Orleans immediately. It's going under here 146.5 right now at Bet Online. You can catch some of these books snapping a little bit here right now if you hurry. Offshore, maybe if you like the under, you can almost save 3.5 points right this second. It's not going to last long. There it goes. So That's what we do here on the Morning Steam Show. Hopefully, you're in real time with me. That was pretty much the preview for that game. Incarnate Word taking on Rio Grande Valley here in this one. Rio Grande Valley 3.5, and pardon me, Rio Grande Valley 5. Maybe it's 4.5 here, but Bet Online's already moved to 5, and the total 147. I'll call it 4.5 because really nobody else is at 5 yet, but it does feel like Rio Grande Valley might be popular here today. Rio Grande Valley comes in uh, to this one against Incarnate Word at 14 and 12. Incarnate Word 12 and 14. More steam here right now. I want to get this one in. Looks like we're hitting it right on time with the extra board right now. North Carolina Central is taking the steam right now against Morgan. North Carolina Central was a 7-point favorite. It's up to 8.5 right now at Bet Online. Central obvious steam here against Morgan State today. Coming in right this second. Central's on the move, and you can still catch some value at DraftKings if you're interested in Central. You can save maybe 1.5 or 2 points here right now. All right, Rio Grande Valley here has lost 3 of their last 4, but they did win last time out against Houston Christian and got the number at home, winning by 24 as a 4.5-point favorite to snap a 3-game losing streak. Still, Incarnate Word 7-5 against the spread on the road, 6-4 against the spread as a dog. Maybe they're in the better position here in this one, but do we just go to the standard under here with me in this one, especially with Incarnate Word on the road here a little bit? Yeah, probably. Maybe it's a cop out here because I don't know if I like the Rio Grande Valley side now at this increased price. I kind of was leaning that way, but 4.5, 5 now. Even I might have to uh, look. I do, like I said, I'd probably bet 4 out of every 5 sides and totals, but got to draw the line somewhere. So just give me the under here in this one. You've got Rio Grande Valley 4-8 to the under as a favorite. Incarnate Word 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games overall. And it does feel like with Incarnate Word a little bit that some of these uh, conference road games as underdogs. Let me look at some of these numbers with Incarnate Word. Just in general, right? The total here 147. Last game 124 against Corpus Christi, 140 against New Orleans, 138 against Southeast Louisiana. They were under in all these games, by the way. 132 against McNeese, 138 against Houston Christian. Maybe it should be a premium. I'm going to go under here with Incarnate Word and Rio Grande Valley. I get it. I mean, Rio Grande Valley. Maybe they've been a little bit, but they go over more. It feels like when they're an underdog. All right, that steam's coming in right now on Virginia, Duke and Virginia, on the under. So the Sharps have had enough of all that over pressure from all of the squares, I guess, overnight, thinking that Flag will go in there and he won't be bothered by any kind of Virginia style defense here in this one. Now the under is coming in right now on Duke and Virginia. Now, it did get all the way up to 133 here before it started getting pushed back down now to 132. So it's not really, again, it probably was 130 when the game opened and went all the way up to 133.5 until now. It's like, Sharps are like, we're ready now. We know we got our Virginia number, but I don't know if that was the way it was going to be tonight. All right, more steam just came in right after that on Florida A&M in their matchup tonight. Florida A&M taking the steam here against Alcorn. Look, I kind of now we'll see, but it was Florida A&M Open 1.5, went to 2.5. Now it's all the way up to 4.5 here right now at Bovada. Oh my God. Now I know this is going to be a pretty popular play here right now with Florida A&M. That's getting a little bit steep, but still, 4.5 right now. Now it just bought back at Bovada down to 4, but still Florida A&M obvious steam here against Alcorn. Man, what great timing with the Sharps here today on the added board. All this action here. All right, that's why we got Action Jackson here after all. Jerry's on Rio Grande Valley. Rio Grande Valley is getting steamed. We already said it here, but the official steam just came in. Now Rio Grande Valley is going to get up even higher here. It's 6 at Bet Online. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is happening in real time. This is what the morning steam is all about here. Rio Grande Valley. Update it, Ramon. You're going crazy. All right. Rio Grande Valley's up to 6 at a lot of spot at Bet Online. 5.5 at some of the offshore books. You can still find some 4s out there. This is all happening in real time right now, and Rio Grande Valley is taking the steam here. And I'm already on the under. I got to rethink of my whole life here at this point. All right. I don't want to leave the. This is it. Last call on the extra board. If you sharps out there watching the show want to move the lines anymore here in real time with me, and you guys are showing it with me in the chat. Berkey says this is live steam, no doubt about it. Right? Remember the guy came in here? He's probably watching right now, thinking up another name to call himself. But the steam's got to be in context. The context is the game. The game is getting bet right now. I don't know what the context is half the time with especially when we're talking about the Monday style board. And the thing is lit up right now. I mean, I want to get off the air and bet some of these games. Let's go to the main board here. We just got a couple left. And all the big games, basically. Duke and Virginia. We just talked about it here with that total in the game, right, with Duke and Virginia. The total's the story here, of course. And the total in the story is Cooper Flag. They put me on the spot the other night. They were going down the line. It was supposed to be a UFC, or no, what was it? We were on Kick or something on Friday night or whatever. And who do you like? And then I like Duke. I'm taking Duke right now. Give me Duke. Give me the best player to win the national championship this year right now. And to me, that might be Duke. Here at this point, I'm all about Cooper Flag. I'm not, trying to find any holes in the game. The hole is, he's a freshman and all that, but no, I mean, it's the reason why he can be the number one pick. Anyways, Duke here against Virginia on the road. Now, look, it's still tough, right? Virginia took the steam after all, we said. And right now the line currently sits at still 14, maybe 14 and a half, down to 131 and a half now. There, I could almost leave the 130, it feels like. Just being all the way bet back down here for the most part. Kind of missed out on some middling opportunities, it feels like. So, first meeting between these two teams this season, Duke is 6-3 against the spread on the road, but UVA has covered 7 of their last 10 games overall. Still a lot of points. Duke's on fire. We know that, but still, Virginia's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games at home here. Duke on fire a little bit after that Stanford win. They beat them by 36. They beat Cal, but didn't cover a 21-point win, favored by 23. Of course, lost to Clemson. We talked to Clemson yesterday, said, hey, right, just to show you where my mind's at, I'm telling you, Duke to win the national championship. And I just said last night, let's bet Clemson to win it all. They're the only team that can beat Duke, for example. So Seems crazy, right? Duke should smash these guys. Let's see what you have in the chat. And before I make a commitment, all right, see what you have here. Duke wins by 15-17. Jerry says Cavs and under. Jermaine says Virginia money line. There you go. Let's do it. Let's go, UVA. Perky says, yeah, the main event going to come back next year. He's all about it, right? The thing is now, I think, Perk and gang, right? There's a lot to be now. Maybe NBA money is a little bit different, especially if you're going to be the number one player. But who's not to say that Cooper Flag isn't going to make several $1,000,000 next year, right? So, all right. Damon, hello. Duke to go off here. This is the night for Flag and company. Jerry, I agree. I almost want to agree with this straight away. I'll give Duke a little bit of, and there's no doubt Jerry's right here as well. But again, I'm all about Flag a little bit, and I think the situation will change once we get to the postseason. But I don't think Duke's a very good price. They just said, "Who do you think's going to win it?" I'm going to take Duke. I'm going to take Duke, but I'm not going to bet Duke. I'm going to take Duke, but I'd rather bet Clemson. Is that okay? That's okay, right? Right, Damon on Virginia here. Yeah, Virginia. Virginia did take that steam a little bit. I think it's too high. So I'm going to take Virginia here, though, just to get in there tonight. And I'll take them plus those 14 points here. Okay, it's a consensus. Okay, that's fine. I'll roll with the consent. There's plenty of Duke support out there, it felt like. Saw what Perky said. There should be a blowout a little bit. I think it will be a blowout. 10 points is still a blowout too. 10 or 12 points. Pardon me. But look, there we go. I think the one thing here about look at this total. Yeah, I know it's teetering 130, 133, whatever it was, but is it really going to be a typical Virginia game here with Duke coming in? If Virginia wants to cover in this game, I would not go with, hey, let's be Virginia and let's try to keep this game into the 120 point range. You're not going to do it. I would think Virginia is better off trying to, maybe they don't have the scoring necessarily, but I would try to roll with. I would try to make Duke go high, and I think that would give Virginia better. They're not going to win anyways. I would say you might have a better chance to win by just saying, "Hey, let's try to outscore them," if you know what I'm saying. All right. I think it's probably going to be a high scoring game. This is Damon says the under has to happen. Yeah, it has. If it goes under, then it might, the final score might be like 70-50, right? Okay, here we go. A couple more here. We just saw the steam on Arizona and Baylor here just now come in on that over, and I was committed at that time. I said, look, I've already liked the over. I had it as my play on the show. Look, it's at 151 there, so no wonder I had them as the play because I'm at 153.5 here right now. So I'm on the over. I don't know how much we're going to preview it here now with this move, and I had to put the play in there with you guys a little bit. Baylor's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games at home. They come in here 16-9, unranked now, and Arizona ranked 13th. But Arizona's lost two in a row here all of a sudden, right? They lost to Houston the other night. Look, we had Houston in that game. Make no mistake there with Houston on the road at Arizona. We did have Houston, but Baylor just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. Here, the steam came in on Arizona, but it's still 1.5. But you look at these teams, the totals here. Baylor 15-9 to the over, 10-6 to the over as a favorite, 9-4 to the over as a favorite at home, or to the over at home, 9-4 to the over at home. But Arizona 1-3 to the under as a dog, so that might be a consideration here. But I'm going. I already said I'm going over. So if you have a play in this one, go ahead. And Baylor for Curtis, and Baylor and over for Thomas. Terrell liked Virginia home unders still. Look, I'm always Terrell. You know me. I'm always Virginia home under, and probably not tonight with Duke coming in. I don't think that is. I don't think you make Duke go under. I think, like I said, if Virginia wants to win, I think they should make Duke go over. Maybe I just don't see things as everybody else. All right, Baylor's won 13 of their last 14 games at home coming in. That's got to speak for something here. Team's first meeting was 81-70. Cats won at home as a 5.5-point favorite. It went for 151 on that night. I'm going to go over here. It's already gotten away from me, but I might have a premium on the side. Hey, Nate Cerna's here. Hi, Nate. Bears in that one. All right. Oh, Jerry says Baylor money line. Typically fade the teams coming off that Houston game. Arizona for Justin, though. And Damon said Baylor under. And Thomas says Baylor is a consensus play here. Wow, gang. Someone's going to get a chance at a 5-teamer here with the Baylor Bears here in this one. Okay. I'm taking the over. I'm not endorsing this. Well, I don't know. I can't say. I'm not going to say. But consensus play from the chat. If it makes a premium, I'll let you know. Or you'll find if you care, if anybody cares out there. All right, we got 100 of you here right now, and we're ready to wrap up the show with Kansas State taking on Utah. K-State comes in 13-12. They're one of the hottest teams in the country, despite that loss last time. That's okay. They were due for a loss. They got blown out at BYU 80-65 after beating Arizona, after beating Kansas, after beating Arizona State, after beating Iowa State. Always a fun run when it's Kansas State's turn to start winning. Utah comes in off of a win over KU as well. Maybe it's not that difficult. They lost to Cincinnati and West Virginia as dogs, but they got blown out kind of in those games here. All right. Kansas State has gone under in 6 of their last 8 games on the road. But Utah's gone under in 5 straight games at home coming into this one. Utah's gone under in 8 of their last 10 overall right here. And I think I kind of went out of order here, gang. I hope I didn't screw that up too much. No, Utah State is the. Oh, they moved the game time on this, right? I'm sorry, you guys. So 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. I'm supposed to be like the best. I always want to be, hey, we're going to tell you the time changes and all that. So I blew it. All right, go ahead in the chat. Let's see what you have. Kansas State is 3-6 to the under in their last on the road. Kansas State's covered 9 of their last 10 here right now, but Utah still 10-6 against the spread at home, 8-4 against the spread as a favorite. So we'll see what you got. I'll go to the chat. In our final game, All right, Utah here for Thomas, Utah for Nate, Utah for Robert, Utah money line for Mike. Damon likes the over here. Perky says Utah money line and over. Jerry says take Kansas State. And Cash Kane, Kansas State on the money line. Justin on Kansas. So all the Utahs were early and all the Kansas States were late. All right. Oh, a few more here. Real quick, McNeese is getting steamed right now in their matchup against Southeast Louisiana. Right now, McNeese was a 7.5 point favorite, and right now, McNeese. The one thing about there's Jermaine on the Utes. Oh wow, Thomas went with he rules a consensus play here on Utah, despite the fact that Jerry Davis, Cash Kane, Justin, all on Kansas State. But he says money line there. But probably was all that early Utah. It probably still was 5-3 or so. Action Jackson said Utah State should win. But the one thing about the steam on this type of card is we saw it in action, right? When these games moved, they moved big time. It felt like so. Anyways, that steam coming in here late right now on McNeese. It was 7.5. And let me give you that current line here right now 8.5, 9 at Bovada. So McNeese, hey, they're always going to get steamed, right? And they're going up a, probably one of their toughest games. Now they might win, but there's no doubt this is supposed to be one of the toughest games for McNeese here of the regular season. You know what I mean? So Nichols, though, that Nichols steam also here. I'm seeing some movement on Nichols here that isn't too bad. All right, here with Kansas State and Utah. I'm going to end up on another under, of course, here in this one. Give me the under, Kansas State and Utah. Like I said, these two teams combined 21 and 29 to the under this year. So give me the under. That's the show. Let's get ready to do the drawing here right now. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. I hope we covered whatever we're going to cover here today. I know there's some tennis and soccer and all that. Oh, we got one more steam here. There's the Nichols State steam. I was mentioning it. In fact, seconds ago when I said it's gone up to 9, I think it's going even higher than that. Nichols right now is all the way here on the move as we speak. 10, pretty much everywhere 10. And think of all the money I could save here if I wasn't doing this show, and I could save all these points, but I'd have it no other way than to come on the show here and do it with you in real time. I don't need a couple of points here and there when I can be with you guys on the air when all of the moves are happening right now. All right, I'm going to do the drawing, but don't forget you can get my best plays now that the lines will be settled. I can really dig into it and hope to get them right here on Swack Meack Monday. Southland, all the all the Monday, the Monday conferences. We've got Southland, we've got SWAC, we've got MEAC, and a couple of. I mean, we got the big one in the Patriot League there, obviously, and of course the Big 12 action and the Duke game. So I'll have some plays, but I'll have plays tonight. I think here college baseball's got 3 games that I'm looking at here, so maybe we'll have some action there. And hey, I think I'm going to move on the USA Sweden game possibly on the total. So join me over at winnable.com. This is how you support me here on the channel. Thanks to all the new subscribers, man. I don't know what we did. We weren't on a tear necessarily, but picked up some steam here, so to speak, on the plays. But really, it's just how you support me here on the show. Hopefully, I'll send some great plays out hopefully just gave you some great plays. But this is how you support me here on the show. We are user or viewer funded, so this is how you keep me coming back here. We got some great other products here with sports money on some of our tiered packages with Mikey Money. I encourage you to check those out here as well. All right, the drawing is coming, and we'll see who gets a chance at this 5-teamer today. Wow, 5-teamer. Thomas said, 6. Howard under, Bethune-Cookman money line, Lamar money line, Virginia spread, Baylor money line, and Utah money line. All right. Juan Padilla's here. Great to have Juan Padilla. Here we go with the drawing. Let's see who wins. Terrell, Robert, Irish King, Dirty Reg, VB, Thomas, Nasty Nate, Joe, Fernando, Cascade, Philly Eagle Flyer, Jerry Davis, and Daddy Beats. So good to have Daddy Beats. First time winner here. Try to cash a 6-teamer tonight. Daddy Beats, let's go. Daddy Beats could win maybe $150 or more here, it feels like, tonight. So let's get it. It's a 6-teamer for Daddy Beats. Appreciate everybody in the chat tonight. Appreciate Daddy Beats for his contributions. That's going to do it here on the Morning Steam. Check me out, like I said, over at winnable.com. That's where you'll get my best plays today. I'm going to send out hopefully some great packages here today. And check it out over at winnable.com/Ramon. Get my plays for free. I got some plays that come up for no charge, and I have paywall plays as well. So really just $4 a day, $8 a week, $19.95 a month. That's 50 cents a day when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout. Really appreciate it, gang. All right, that's going to do it for the show. We'll be back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Also tomorrow, VB, MMA picks. Well, I think we'll have an evening show. I want to say it's 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Tomorrow night will be after pre-gaming with VB MMA picks tomorrow for the preview of this week's card. So just a program reminder there. And join Mikey Money today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific with pre-gaming. Mikey will get you ready for the primetime action, including USA versus Sweden in Four Nations face-off action, and get you ready for those games in college basketball as well. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Can't escape from the team called the Morning Steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.